Well, that was very nice to hear from Big Ben, but we would like to hear the news. We'll bring it to you just as soon as we can.
Within the BBC, we all call from our own correspondent just Fook. And I often think when I'm away on a story and I see or hear something striking, ooh, that's a bit fooky.
Ooh, that would make a good Fook. For me, it's a place for the strange stuff.
The unexpected, the left field.
The little details that sometimes say more than everything else.
The things that linger in the mind's eye.
Filing for a radio programme that can bring those global stories home and make you understand why they matter is the most valuable thing any foreign correspondent can do.
From our own correspondent, Saturday mornings at 11:30 on BBC Radio 4.
This is BBC Radio 4, where I'm afraid we're having some technical problems which are preventing us from continuing with our scheduled programme as smoothly as we'd wish. Many apologies for the disruption to your listening, but rest assured we're doing our best to restore normal service as soon as possible.
Hello and welcome to Loose Ends.
A bit of this.
With a particularly happy, talented, entertaining and impressive bunch of guests gathered round the Loose Ends table.
A bit of that.
We have 8 brothers performing on brass instruments. Is this a record?
And plenty of the other.
I thought Clive was busy cooking phase muffins.
BBC Radio 4's lively mix of comedy, music and conversation.
I've been approached by BBC Radio 4, so...
Right. It wasn't to present Loose Ends, was it?
Yes, swap chairs.
Clive Anderson presents Loose Ends every Saturday evening at 6:15. This is Radio 4, where, as you may have gathered, we're still suffering some technical problems and can't bring you our scheduled programme at the moment. In the meantime, let me remind you of what you can find on the BBC Radio 4 website. The address is bbc.co.uk/Radio 4, where you'll discover a wide range of features to help you enjoy our output. You can listen to all Radio 4 programmes from the past 7 days. Many are permanently archived, so you can listen and explore years' worth of programmes, such as Desert Island Discs, In Our Time, the food programme Book Club, Woman's Hour, Today, and many more. Well, now, I'm glad to say that we can return to the 6 o'clock news with Susan Ray. Well, we are having a few problems here. We obviously can't return to the 6 o'clock news at the moment. I'll do my best to see what's happening. Pictures and biographies. And finally, for the very latest highlights on our station, why not sign up for the weekly Radio 4 newsletter? Those are just some of the many things you can find by going to bbc.co.uk/Radio 4. And while our website remains in good health, I'm afraid we're still having problems bringing you our scheduled programmes at the moment. Please bear with us. We are working as fast as possible to solve the problem. We can't always listen to the radio when we'd like, so that means we're bound to miss some great Radio 4 programmes. But there is a way to catch up with some of our very best output. You can download programmes like Today, In Our Time, Desert Island Discs, Woman's Hour, File on 4, The Now Show, The Infinite Monkey Cage, Start the Week. The list goes on and on and on. You can download these programmes. It's free and they're yours to keep, so you can listen whenever and wherever you like. Find out more on the BBC Radio 4 website. We're still having a few technical difficulties. Please do stay with us. We're trying to sort it out just as soon as we can.
The Mints, M-I-N-T. Mexico, Indonesia, Nigeria and Turkey.
Are these the new economic powerhouses?
So we're very fast and we provide whatever the Chinese provide right now.
You are out-Chinesing the Chinese.
Yes. For BBC Radio 4, The Economist Jim O'Neill begins a new 4-part series in Mexico.
How many people here would pay taxes?
No.
None at all. We're literally looking at hundreds, if not thousands of people.
The often rocky road to national prosperity in Mint, the next economic giant. Monday to Thursday mornings at 9.
And over the course of a week, The Economist Jim O'Neill visits Mexico, Indonesia, Nigeria and Turkey to shine a light on life in these countries as they teeter on the cusp of potential economic greatness.
The Mint. Sugar. We all know too much is bad for us, but is one type worse than all the others? In Fructose, the bitter-sweet sugar, we explore the science behind claims that this natural product found in fruit juices, smoothies, honey, and the white granulated stuff we all keep at home makes us particularly fat and unhealthy, and that it's behind the current epidemic of obesity. Join me, Dr. Mark Porter, for Fructose, the bitter-sweet sugar, on Wednesday at 9 p.m.
This is BBC Radio 4. As you can hear, we're having quite a few problems at the moment bringing you the 6 o'clock news. Until then, another trail.
It's Africa's largest city, the commercial hub of Nigeria, Lagos, and it's all here. The stuff you know, slums, traffic jams, corruption and crime. But as well, you'll find hope, ambition and entrepreneurship. And I'm here in the city to bring some Lagos life to the Today programme on Monday, a chance to mark the growing importance of Nigeria in the world, in a week that Radio 4 runs a series on the emerging economies to watch. Have a listen. From London and Lagos, the Today programme on Monday morning at 6, here on BBC Radio 4.
In addition to this, across the week, Women's Hour and Front Row will feature reports from these 4 countries, while on Monday morning, the Today programme comes from Lagos, where Evan Davis will be looking at Nigeria's economic development. That's on Monday morning from 6. On digital radio, online, on FM and on longwave, this is BBC Radio 4. When it comes to castaways, few are better equipped to survive on a desert island than my guest this week.
First of all, you should stop and think about your situation, look around and make a plan.
He's a man who knows more than most about bushcraft and survival.
It's always good to have a fire, because if you're going to make fire by friction, you need to do it while you've still got energy.
He's Ray Mears, and to hear the music he chooses to accompany him when he's cast away, join us for Desert Island Discs tomorrow morning at 11:15.
You must take care of the fundamentals, and also to consider whether anyone might come looking for you. There's a good chance that you should build some signals ready in case somebody comes.
This is BBC Radio 4. We're still having a few problems here. We're getting back to the news very shortly. I really do hope so. Let's have a try now. This is BBC Radio 4, and now hopefully we can go to the 6 o'clock news with Susan Ray.
Good evening. The Iraqi government has lost control of Fallujah, a major city west of Baghdad, after days of fighting and more than 100 deaths. The city is in Anbar, the only Iraqi province dominated by Sunnis.